He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Wentz going to give this to Taylor. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Colts in possession as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
Now Jackson. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least it'll be 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Back deep for the Colts, Nyheim Hines. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They've been playing the field position game thus far. No score, 2nd quarter as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 2nd and 11 now. Wentz. He's got his target. That's Zach Pascal. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a 1st down. They give to Taylor out of the gun. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're not doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And Pascal's got it. And he is going to have a Colts 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Wentz now on 1st down. This is caught by Hilton, and they move this all the way down to the 9. That one goes for 30 yards.
T.Y. Hilton wakes up every day, a big play waiting to happen. Been doing it ever since college.
Florida International there, he broke all the receiving records.
Do you know the first time he touched the ball at FIU? It was a touchdown.
Was it?
Yeah, and he predicted it as well. There's no doubt about T.Y. Hilton, and that's one of the reasons we see him make the catches we just saw there. He competes for the ball as well as anyone.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll run here with Taylor. A solid move on the run, but ultimately stopped short of the goal line, down at the 2. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal. They'll look to run with Taylor. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor taking it in from 2 yards out as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. It's a 1st down and more for Dobbins. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the 2nd round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football out of the backfield?
Oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked off by Darius Leonard, the linebacker. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. Working from the gun, Wentz. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there's no space available, and incompletion as a result.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Wentz. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Well, so far on this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
And now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Shotgun now for Wentz. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And they run the option on 2nd down.
And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Jackson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 40. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. A big hitter there, a 1st down gain of 26 yards.
Oh, that's a big one right there. You talk about breaking off a huge chunk of real estate. But if you're the defensive coordinator, you cannot dwell on the fact you just gave up an explosive run. You have to look ahead, regroup your guys, and figure out a way to slow down.
Touchdown, Colts! Nyheim Hines in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Colts will extend their lead here just before halftime.
CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the 1st quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the 2nd. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. And you have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. Runs over it. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football.
Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he'll get this one up to the 26. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Throwing is Wentz. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to the 4th down. They'll run for it. It's Taylor. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Here's Taylor. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wentz, and this is going to be incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. A dump away. And they're to drop it for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Play action. Now Jackson. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Another first down, this time on a gain of 19. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Excellent job on the keeper. 20 yards and a first down.
Pretty ideal right there. Keep it yourself, get the first down, and get the heck out of bounds.
And knowing him, I believe he's thinking, I can get a few more yards if I just lower my shoulder. But he also hears that second voice in his head. His head coach and probably his agent, too, saying, get out of bounds, man. Don't do that.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Rock Ya-Sin. That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all these picks have been his fault. You know, some of the throws, yes, but there have been a good number of them where he hasn't been helped by his own receivers, and they've turned into interceptions. So he knows if he keeps firing, perhaps good things can happen, not just in this game, but especially in later ones.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Now Wentz. Now that's into the hands of Mo Alley-Cox, the tight end. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Wentz going to try and throw on third. Complete to Hilton. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been terrific so far. This is taken at the 15. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now it's Jackson.
They set up the screen for Dobbins.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Jackson.
Quick slant to Brown.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And incomplete on the deep ball.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Jackson.
Back to Brown, this time complete.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. He gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Nice pickup, 10 yards and a first down on the keeper. Well, that little John helps, able to pick up the first get out of bounds as well.
And he has to play a little bit of risk-reward here at this time because they need these first downs. But you know the risk is if they catch him inbounds and tackle him, the clock continues to run and grinds things for him. So he's able to get it done, get out of bounds, and conserve a little bit of time as they try and get the ball downfield.
Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson. This is caught. It's Brown. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And it's a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
Too many zeros on the stat sheet thus far. No touchdown passes, no points for his team, but he remains undaunted. Still attempting to get his team on the scoreboard, firing the ball downfield.
Jackson running again. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Already a pair of third down conversions for them on this drive, but right now they need 5 yards on this third down try. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Anderson Aho. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Well, to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6-1, one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
That's just mean. I don't know that I'd go down there and say that to him right now. Probably pretty fragile. On play action, it's Wentz. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
I like what they did there because many of the deep throws we see in the course of a game come to the outside, the perimeter of the field. In this case, they used the slot receiver to run deep downfield and tried to connect that way. Unsuccessful in that attempt, but I like what they were doing.
The Colts on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Finding room at the 30. And he finally goes out of bounds across the opposite 40. 68 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries.
But sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big third down conversion. On first down, Taylor. 2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Second down, another run with Taylor.
Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. The Colts on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 6. And a short gain down to about the 33. They'll get a couple of yards on the keeper, but it's going to lead to a 4th down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Badgley able to punch this one through. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Throwing is Jackson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this will be caught at the 30. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. Oh, looking for Andrews downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Jackson now. Oh, looking for Andrews downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Again, Jackson. He'll check it down to Bell. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th. John Harbaugh going to roll the dice. They're going for it on 4th down. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. Touchdown! It's complete. Hollywood Marquise Brown. 23 yards for the touchdown.
And the Ravens are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the Colts are going to recover the football. And that should be enough to get them home. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
The Colts in victory formation now as they take the knee.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory, and it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the one touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So that'll do it for us. For my part, all the hard-working men and women on our crew. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From Baltimore.